Hi, everyone. How's everybody doing today? Sorry for the delay. We had a little bit of Mare technology issues, but so far have everything all figured out. Today, we are going to make a bunny. Well, I call them bunny butts. Basically, it's a wreath. This is the first one that I made. It's a wreath. It has cardboard feet and it's made out of a heart foam frame. Then I kind of fiddled around with ideas and that, and I went with this one here. It's made with a faux fur for the feet and still cardboard, a pom pom bunny yarn, but this time we will be using a heart form wreath and all my supplies except for my chunky yarn I purchased from the Dollar Tree here in Canada. Now, our Dollar Tree is $1.50 for each item. Uh, some things, the bunny feet pattern that I did buy, they're purchased from the Dollarama here in Canada, which is similar to a Dollar General or Family General in the States. And this was for $1.25. So let's get started. First of all, you can use whatever kind of yarn you want. Um, I got the chunky yarn, and I purchased this at Michael's. Sorry about this. My nerves are getting to me, so please bear with me. Um, Basically, what you want to do is take some yarn off your big spool. And I have Dom and Lisa here as my special guests tonight.
Hi everyone, and you're doing great, Mir.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's just really funny in the background. This, oh my god,
Okay.
you should have been here
You
about
also
10,
need,
15 minutes earlier.
oh, oh Lord, I tell you. You also want to use your glue gun. And Dom, don't make any remarks either on that. Okay. Um, Basically, you want to start out with gluing a little bit, putting a little bit of glue on your frame. And this way here, you can adhere your yarn to it. And then all we're doing is for this section from the point to this tip here, this bar here, we're just going to wrap it around normally. So basically just take your yarn through the hole and just hold the part that you glued first just down a little bit. And then we'll just continue wrapping around. And I like to use the chunky yarn because basically it covers more of an area. You don't have to worry about squeezing it so much to get the bars covered. And I find that big spool of the chunky yarn, it made so far, um, I think 7 wreaths of my bunny butts. And you can even take a piece of old cardboard, cut out a heart shape, and cut out a hole, and you can wrap your yarn around it. It'll be the same effect as you're doing it with the frame. So we want to continue wrapping this around. Yes, I want to give a shout out to Dom in that for helping me so much. And for everyone who had dropped my links at in the channels, thank you ever so much. I really appreciate that. Okay, now we're at this bar. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the end of a yarn. We're going to, now I'm working on the outside of the frame is facing me. This is the right side of the frame, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take the end of the yarn and we're going to loop it through and we're going to pull it, and then we're going to take this part here, bring it back and loop it again, okay? So then we're going to take it, we're going to loop it through, and we're going to do this method until we reach the tip of the heart. And you'll find if you use your yarn, like thinner yarn, you'll find that it does make a really pretty pattern. It's almost like a basket weave pattern. But with the chunky yarn, you don't really notice it that much. And you're going to continue on wrapping. And now we come to the end of our section. So take a little bit of hot glue. And this is usually where you might burn yourself. So be very careful. They have finger protectors and stuff, which I lost mine. I don't know where they are. But this is where nails come in handy too. Okay. And then take some more of your yarn. Take some hot glue. I hope I'm still in the frame.
You are, Mary. You're fine.
Thanks, Lisa. And we're going to start and we're going to wrap it again. And this is where you can get it into a knot, but just pull out and then, oops, everything's okay. And you're going to do this pattern here where you do the loop and pull until we get to this bar here, okay? And basically, like most crafters, what I do is there's no set pattern. I scour Pinterest and Etsy's pictures and that, and then I sit and I figure how I can duplicate it. So basically, how should I say, everyone comes different. Every thing turns out different. And I'm a person who is basically thrift shops. So I try to get my material either at like a dollar store or use recycled cardboard and that. Okay, now we're here at the bar. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue just to wrap back and forth again. And this part here, if you're using your thin yarn, you're going to keep pushing down. And you might want to put a little bit of hot glue at the tip of your heart. And this is where I love the chunky yarn because it hides that tip really well. And you just continue wrapping until you get to your other bar again. I'm sorry, I'm not really paying attention to chat, but thank you ever so much for subscribing and stopping by at my channel today. I really appreciate all you guys. And what you would do is now we're going to wrap the yarn again. We're going to go through the hoop, first rung, wrap it round, and then wrap the whole thing around. Bring it again. And this is something that your kids can do. My grandson, who's 4, loves making these. And the chunky yarn is very forgiving, so you don't have to worry if you goofed, because you won't be able to tell. And again, we come to the end. So what you're going to do is put a little bit of hot glue at the rung, attach your yarn, and there you go. And you can fiddle with it after you're done putting all your yarn on. And with your chunky yarn, if you can't find the faux fur that I'm going to show you to do your feet with, you can use your chunky yarn to do your to cover up your little bunny feet. Okay. Find your end, and we're still going to loop it around. And that was our last one. And now you can just go back and wrap it around. And you don't have to pull it so tight when you go around. Oops. Okay, now what you can do is when we reach the tip, what we're going to do is the same method. We're going to wrap around, pull it, bring it up, and that should complete it. Just glue the end of the and there we go. Now that part was easy. So what we're going to do now in the middle of it, I have some construction paper or some cardstock. What you can do is, we should have done this before, sorry, is take your heart wreath free and trace from the second rung, just your heart frame. Okay, and we'll cut that out. Ah, and now your hot glue can get really, really hot, all right? So when you're working with the little ones with a hot glue gun, make sure you use the hot glue gun to attach your yarn on it. And then once their yarn is secure, then they can start and wrap around. And all we're going to do here is attach perfect. You're going to take your wreath and then you're just going to use some hot glue and attach your cardstock to the back of your wreath form. And this also tidies up your wreath, so when you do hang it on your door, it just protects it even more that you don't get scratches. So altogether, my supplies that I have used, my husband calculated it up for me, and I spent around $7 to make for each wreath. So if you're selling it, this will sell great at a craft store, like a craft show, and that. And the normal, what people do, they take your cost and they multiply by 3, and that's how they get the cost of their wreaths. Personally, I don't. I'm very bad at pricing out my things. So I figure as long as I get my money back, what I'm used in my materials, I'm happy. And then this is what our center is going to look like. Okay, now it'll go like this. Because you want the two hearts, like the, oh, what would you call them? The U shapes, I guess. I don't know. I'm having one of those Gabby brain moments. And there's sometimes where you see where there's your yarn is gaping a little bit. Just stick a little bit of hot glue, cold, and there you go. Okay. Now we're going to make our little pom-pom. These little contraptions, they are wonderful. You can get them at the Dollar Tree. And I had my cousin call me, and she said that they're available in the States in the Dollar Tree too. They come in 5 different sizes, and this one here is the biggest size. And what you would do is glue. Okay, Dom, you can make fun. I glued everything. I glued my yarn to my desk.
I would never make fun of you.
Oh, yeah, okay. Now I can't find the end. Oh, okay. Oh, good Lord.
Oh my god.
Yep. See, this is why Dom keeps me around. I'm for his entertainment.
Glue guns can be very sticky. My mom has the same issue, so it's not just you.
I'm telling you. Okay. Fun fact. My husband, he gets upset sometimes, especially when I end up burning myself with the glue gun. And that, like a month ago, I burnt my ring finger. 3rd-degree burn. Okay. So what he decided to do, he went and he hid all my glue guns. And he also hid all my glue sticks. Well, he didn't know I had a stash. So when he would hide my glue gun, I would go ahead and take another one out. I'm worse than a kid.
Yeah, my mom's the same way. She has like backup stash, so because we had the issue with stuff running out, so she always has like a backup of everything. So if I run out of something and I don't want to go to the store, I'll go into her room and I'll tell her what I need, and she tells me where to go get it, and I pay her back for it.
Yeah. But one advice is don't glue your yarn. And what you do with this pom-pom maker is that you keep wrapping until it's pretty full. And this is something that really occupies a 4-year-old because they like doing this. At least my munchkin does. And basically what you want to do is you want to cover the whole thing so that your semicircle, you can't see any of the green. So, and that's the fuller you want your pom-pom, the more yarn you put on it. Okay. And when you're done, just slip it in the 2 teeth that is there. You cut that and you close it up. And then you just repeat on the other side. And this is when, like, I would make my wreaths in that when I'm watching a live or having one of those days where turn on Netflix or Amazon Prime, turn your favorite movie on, and I'll sit and I'll make wreaths. I got started making the wreaths in that from when I was forced into retirement because of my medical issues. And I have neuropathy and that in my hands. So if I don't use them, they stiffen up so bad that I can't pick anything up. So this helps. But some days when I use mesh, when I make my mesh wreaths and that, sometimes it'll take me a week to finish it because cutting the mesh and then holding it and everything and zip tying them and that I have to take breaks. And what you do is you go along your scissors and you see how you have between the two teeth, you have this opening. And then all you do is just cut through. Then you follow through on the other side. Yeah, ambulance girl, it was really a shock to me because I was an RN at first and I had to leave because I got hurt on the job. And then I went back to school and I majored in business and marketing. And then I went back to school and I majored in finances and mortgaging. And with my diagnosis and everything, I was in so much pain that I couldn't concentrate on basically my clients. And when you're dealing with finances and that, I didn't want to put my clients in jeopardy because I did a lot of credit repairs and that and help people find and get mortgages. And then when I was diagnosed with Cushing's syndrome, oh my goodness, let me tell you, you would give somebody instructions telling them not to do this or that, anything, pay your bills on time. And then when they were denied their mortgages, they would sit there. You get a lot. I found a lot of real estate agents, and actually, my clients, they would sit and they would curse you out. It's just like being um, an operator on the phone. And with Cushing syndrome, I found my blood boil too much and my blood pressure spiked. The stress of it all, and my doctor said that if I didn't retire, I wouldn't be around for the next 2 years. So I was forced into retirement again. And what you would do is, what I did was, once you were done, you open up the arms again, you pull this apart, and then here is your little pom-pom. And then you shake this out, and you can trim it up if you want, if you like. But it looks pretty even, I'm surprised. And you will take your pom-pom, cut the string off, put a little bit of hot glue, and put it in the center. And you can fluff it up. And there you go. Now, for the ears, okay, you can either take regular bunny ears and just cut the ears off, or you can take these cute little bunny sacks. They're the fabric gift bags, and these were $1.50 at my Dollar Tree. And what you do is 2 comes in a pack. So what you would do is you would take the ears and you would just cut at the bag. Now I make gnomes too, so my bags, that'll be a body of my gnome. So, and the beard, of course, would cover the face, so you wouldn't even notice. Now what you would do is you would take, and of course I have everything out except my wire. Oh, here it is. Now, hopefully I don't topple my camera. Okay. Now, this wire here is all messed up. You can tell I had my grandson, right? He thought this was a slinky, so he decided to pull all the wires out. And what you would do is you would take and you would just snip. Normally you would roll it out, but and you would take it, and the hole that you cut, you can just slide this up in your ear. Okay. Twist the bottom. Tuck that in. And this here, my floral wire, what I did was I ordered this one off of Amazon, but you can use any floral wire. You can use the pipe cleaners, or they like to call them Chanel sticks. You can use that. And what you're going to do is you're going to take it, and at the almost near the tip, if you can see that, you're going to put a little bit of hot glue on your ear, front and the back, and just stick it in your paper and in your ribbon or in your yarn. And just hold it for a few minutes. And then take your hot glue and just tack it down. And just hold. And then this way here, you can bend your ears. You can make them floppy. You can make them straight. And then you will do the same thing to the other ear. Pinch a little bit on top. Push it through the hole. Separate it. Now, at first, I made a bunny face. And I asked my husband, Dom, and Artsy what they thought of it. Well, they all told me that it looked like a bunny's butt instead of a face. So I took off the eyes, the nose, made a pom-pom, and found a,
But it did look like a bunny's butt.
yeah, it looked like a bunny butt.
But it's cute.
I'll ask Dom and I'll ask my husband what they think of it, but in all honesty, whatever Artsy says, if Artsy likes it, then it's a go. If not, then I'll figure something out. I value both of their, like all three of their opinions, but Artsy's the one with the eye that paints and whatnot. So, and if you find that there's a little bit of, see how some of the wreath form is showing, you can take a little bit of yarn and just glue it back over, or just move your yarn over a little bit to just hide that. And there you go, we have our ears done. Now moving on to the feet. I already did 1 foot to save time. But what you would do is, and this is where that you would need to help your child with. Okay, I'm gonna have to put you over here. Okay. My wire. Okay. This is the faux fur that I got at the Dollar Tree. Okay. And also, for different kind of fur, you can buy at Amazon and that, but I find it really expensive. You can go to a fabric store. They do sell it by the yard. There too is kind of expensive. What I found is scour your thrift stores or your Goodwill shops and that, because you can get faux fur out of scarves or those muffs that they use. I got one that is the gray white, and basically the more colors you have in your faux fur, the more expensive they are. Well, by the time I took apart this scarf here, I had 6 yards of faux fur in the gray and the black and the white, and it only cost me 99 cents for it. So there are bargains that you can find. So that's my little tip. And nowadays, you have to look for bargains. Now, what I did was with your bunny feet, okay, here's your foot, and I cut one out. So this here I use as my pattern. And what I done was I just traced it onto my faux fur. Okay. Now with these ones here with the dollar store or like your Dollarama or Dollar Tree, they will not fit like the whole foot. So what you have to do is you just do the first 2 toes in the circle and then go back and do the last toe. Okay. Now, the trick with these is you need a box cutter or an X-Acto knife. You can use scissors, but what I usually do is you always cut from the back, never the material, like never the fur, because then it won't brush up or stay intact. So you hold your 2 fingers like this, and what I usually do is I usually start, and only you're going to be doing your material. You're not cutting your fur. Okay? So you hold that taut really tight. Then I take my little clippers and I go in, and again, you only cut the back of the material. Don't go all the way through, like put your scissors like this and cut, because then you won't get the fluffiness of your fur. And if you do have arthritis or if you do have neuropathy in your hands, take breaks, because this here, the cutting in that, this can be tedious. And then once you're done, you'll pull that apart and see how you didn't cut any of your fur. It's still all intact. And then you do the same on the other side. Now, the first time, what I did with the feet is I just basically traced the whole thing and glued them onto my rabbit's foot. And I took the little circles and I took the felt and I drew the little circles for the paw print and I glued that on top of the fur. Because I tried to do the other way, well, this way here, and it didn't work at first. So Dom said, well, why don't you cut the holes and do the feet in between? So it took me a day and a half to figure out how to do it. But what you're going to do is you're going to cut the little hole. Now, my saying is waste not, want not. So all your little pieces of your fur that you have left over, I stick in a little bag because there is some projects where you need to piece up and that put and add some more or make a mustache for your gnome. And then you pull that out and there's your 1/2. Then you will just cut this part out. Okay. And I find when you're cutting, if you just hold your material this way here, it helps. Okay. And now the insides of the circle. Okay. Sorry, I'm concentrating. Okay. And two more. Now, what I did to make the back of your foot a little bit more stable, I took 2 pieces of cardboard and I got a like little rabbit's foot off of Pinterest, and I printed that out and I traced that on empty cereal boxes, and I glued 2 of them together. And then once we glue the faux fur on the foot, we'll glue the little cardboard piece off, and that'll make your feet sturdy. And it'll also show you and help you guide where you glue your feet to your wreath. Okay, so now we are done. So take your little paw print, and I start out at the toes, and you just go around with your glue gun. Okay. And you just put that, line it up as best as you can, and just firmly press. And then take your other little half, match it up, and just press the toes down. Okay. Then you just continue gluing till you have all your fur tacked down to your foot. Yeah, my beautiful twin, we're making our tootsies. Okay. Now, with your glue gun, you'll find that you will get little strands like web type things, those you can easily remove after it dries. And usually what I do is they go away with like a hair dryer if I'm doing a mesh wreath or something and I'm hot gluing something together. And just take your air dryer, heat it up, and it'll go away. So now what you do is you take a brush or a comb, and of course I can't find mine, but what I like to do is I like to fluff up my fur. So see how some pieces will come apart, and then this way here you can see where you need to tack down more. And there we go. We made another rabbit's foot. Now this is what I mean. I made this, got this off of Pinterest. I printed it out and I put it on cardboard boxes. I just recycled that. And what you're going to do is stick a little bit of glue. Oh. Put some glue on there. Hold it down. And you'll find you'll have fuzz and glue all over you. Now take your little bunny, and we're almost done. And remember, the top of your heart is the bottom of your rabbit. And what you're going to do is you're going to glue your little feet down. And there's one. And the other one. And I usually point them out a little bit so it looks like they're running away. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make him a little, or make her a little, going to embellish her up a little bit. Okay. So I got a Dollar Tree flower, and you can pull the stems. Will it come off? No, of course not. So take your wire cutters and just snip this part off. Oops. Oh, come on. And I have a little bit of greenery. Let's see. This one's better. Okay. And it's always good to have a garbage pail right next to you. So what you're going to do is you're going to put this on and attach it with some hot glue. And again, be very careful that you do not burn yourself. Like I just did. And then I have two little carnations. Now you could make yourself a bow and put a bow on there, but I don't think we really need one. And there you have it. We have our little spring buddy butt. Oops, let me see if you can see it. And then what you would do is you would take a piece of yarn or a piece of twine and you would make yourself a little hanger for your door or a wall. I wouldn't necessarily hang this one outside because of the yarn and the cardboard that you're using. And then what I usually do for my hanger is I will cut a piece of fur or leftover fur, and all you would do is just put it on there, and you would hold that for a little bit, and it will secure. And there you go, your little bunny. So it's all ready for Easter. And on my next video, what happened, I made 4 videos and then I tried loading them up and I ended up deleting them. I made these little gnome bunnies. I think they're really cute. I love gnomes. And you can open them up, fill them up with candy. And I also made these little hippie bunnies hippie gnome bunnies for spring. And I will be doing a video on that. And I was so excited today when I went to my Dollarama or the Dollar Tree. In Canada, it's very hard to find wreath forms. We can usually find just basically this same, at least in my city, just the same circular ones. We don't get the cross ones or the breast cancer ones, or sometimes we don't even get the square ones to make like wreaths for mesh or anything. I was so surprised that we had the heart ones this year. I was looking for the bunny form wreath that they already had. They have them in the States, but they don't have them in Canada. And it's really frustrating because us Canadians, we can't order from the website and have it shipped like you guys can. So it's basically once their supplies are out, they're out. We don't get it anymore. So it's like everyone who does Reese in that, they just go and grab what they can basically. But I was so excited. I seen Cross Reese, and I've been wanting to try that out for a couple of years now. So I figured, well, I have two. Um, I would like to do two different styles. So I figured, well, why not sit and experiment with my friends? So um, thank you very much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate you guys. Um, don't forget to like and subscribe and have a great night. And I wanted just to say that each one of you consider yourselves blessed and highly favored. Adjust that crown because you are a daughter or a son of the King. And don't forget that. Well, thank you for attending my first live. I can't believe it. I'm still nervous. You may not see it, but I am kind of shaking. But thank you so much, and you guys have a great night. Thanks, Dom and Lisa, for coming up here and keeping me company. I really appreciate you guys. And take care and have a great day. Bye.